Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You know, I always like
time zone it
is because we are in different time zones ourselves. And you know me, I love it that we can all come together while we are in different places from different time zones all at the same time.
Yep.
So we have a special pop-up session today where we're doing this not only together in real life, woohoo, we'll talk about that in a second, but also we're doing it here in California, which is not in our normal time zone, and we're also doing it at a later time to accommodate our schedule because we're here for a very fun event that we're going to share a little bit more about here in a few minutes. So I'm super excited that everyone is here. Those of you that are on Team Live, make sure you let us know in the comments below where you guys are located. We just told you that we're here in California, in San Francisco, well, just outside of San Francisco. In where right now?
The Valley, like Menlo Park area, almost San Jose. I don't know California. It's beautiful though.
It is very beautiful.
There's a vineyard outside.
Oh, we walked the vineyard. It was super cool. So we are here having a great time today. We are looking a little bit, well, at least I can't say anything for Nikki, but we're looking a bit odd because the lighting isn't so super great and our laptops at a different angle, but that's okay. We're going to enjoy being together. So we want to thank everyone for being here. Blue TV happens usually on Thursdays now. We want to welcome everyone, whether you're on Team Live or Team Replay. So if you're joining us as Team Replay, make sure you let us know in the comments below so we can come back and have amazing conversation. But before we get started, what I want to do is just share with everyone where we're usually from.
Fort Myers, Florida.
And Houston, Texas. We came here together to be here in California for a very special event, which we'll get to eventually as well. So lots of exciting news. We are now, just so everyone knows, we are, as Nikki just mentioned, on a vineyard, a private home that has their own vineyard, super cool, amongst all of her children that are here. So we're having a lot of fun today.
And they're quiet. We did not put duct tape on their mouths. They are outside playing.
Well, I see one kind of looking.
Oh, there is one.
But we're going to have a little bit of fun today. As you guys know, here on Blue TV, we really just talk about amazing people who come join, and we understand a little bit about what has helped them be successful here on LinkedIn. Nikki and I are here because this is an opportunity for us to share a little bit more about how our relationships from LinkedIn virtually actually turn into opportunities to meet in real life, and what that is doing for us from a collaboration perspective, right? And a friendship. Yeah. Wouldn't you agree?
I would. Yeah.
But before we do even more than that, and dive it deep in, I want everyone to know a bit more about Nikki. So Nikki, share a little bit about yourself for us, please.
Okay. I really enjoyed this opportunity, by the way. This is cool. So to be in person together, it's amazing. The sales and marketing machine that we're trying to create here, I think it's amazing. So I am running a marketing company with my guys 𝗕𝗹𝗂𝗲𝗧𝗩 and Ashish Kumar and Walter Akalo. They are helping to build something that's a little bit different. We want to elevate thought leaders. We want to give them that space to be able to grow. So I'm bringing in different fractional leaders in different departments, like Denise, to help them with their sales. We have Aaron Starling to help them with their tech stack. We have lots of people that want to invest in the B2B and the tech founders that want to grow, to scale quickly. So we say, stop guessing and start growing.
I love it. I love it. And I'm so super excited that we're here together. So I always talk about what really brought us together. Usually when I have a guest, I like to share how our relationship really started and how it's fostered, how it's grown. So I met Nikki. I didn't actually meet her until we both became part of this group, which we don't talk about very often. But as you know, if you pay any attention, we are both top voices of the Blue badges, which is why Blue TV, although we are a part of the Top Voices Unite and the Market Me More as part of they're our sponsor now for the Blue TV. But we both met in the same group in a community where we came together, which Nikki helped foster amongst a couple of others. But we have really gotten to know each other really well. There's something about Nikki that allowed us to
connect. About you.
Oh, thank you. We were able to connect at a level that will now led us to here. So let's talk a little bit about what it means to start these virtual relationships on LinkedIn, because we all are doing that, right? We're all connecting via LinkedIn virtually, and we don't know people from Adam until we start to have these conversations in the comments or the DMs. But how amazing it is when we can then move that into a more intimate, a more deeper relationship. So let's maybe start up talking about.
Do you remember the first time we were supposed to meet?
No.
Yeah. So we were going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, in Arizona, yes.
Yep. And you were meeting Corey.
Yes,
right?
Corey and I were staying in the same house.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I was
Corey Warfield, by the way.
Right. So I was meeting with my husband and I, Jason, were meeting with our vice president, and to let him know. Oh, thank you. We were letting him know that we had an opportunity to sell the company. So that was a huge time. I couldn't tell you the time. That's what we were doing. But we were meeting to this Phoenix, Arizona. It was, and we were there.
Yeah.
It was Scottsdale.
Well, whatever.
Close enough.
There's like neighboring cities.
But anyways, that's what we were doing. We were meeting there for that purpose, to be able to have some fun. We went to a golf tournament, the Waste Management golf tournament, and she was there in town. And so I have this collaboration addiction. Do you think it is?
No, superpower. It's not an addiction. It's a superpower.
It's a superpower. Well, I've turned it into the Growth Network Partnership. I love it. So anyhow, so while we were there, I was like, hey, she's in town. I want to see her. Like, we're so close. Let's just see each other. And we didn't get it to work. And then the second time, we were overnight in your city.
Yes, in Houston, yes.
Yes, and our airplane wasn't going to leave. And so I was like, let's get together. But then something stopped us there. So this is our third time, and third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm.
Yes, so here we are. And I would say that coming out of this over the last, was it January, we were awarded the Top Voices.
Yes.
Since then, we've developed this relationship to where it's not just because of this badge. Because of the DMs, because of the WhatsApp group that's been started by Wendy and Bobby. They are at other Top Voices. Wendy Umar and, I mean, not Wendy Umar.
Wendy
Bobby
Shores and Bobby Umar. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day for us.
They put together this WhatsApp chat. And out of that, Krista Mullion, she started another group, and we have just been able to bond with over 100 different top voices that want to elevate their voice. So we're leveraging this blue voice to be able to figure out, what do we do? How do we collaborate? So we're looking at, how can we help you with your sales? How can we help you with your marketing? How can we help you with your TEDx? How can we help you with your accounting? Because that's Megan. How do you say Megan's last name?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not even going to attempt.
Well, all these people are lovely, and I think through this relationship in the DMs, through these relationships in the chats on WhatsApp, we've been able to meet together, and I think that's beautiful, because that kind of seals the deal. I mean, I was friends with you before, I liked you before, but the time that we spent together, I like her even more.
Well, I mean, when you get to meet someone virtually, you most certainly get to establish a bond. That you find things that, you know, you have in common, or interests that you can share, or topics that you can really discuss, right, and dive deep in. But I think when you get to meet someone live, it takes it to a grander level. Sure, you get to see someone, especially on Zoom or live events. You get to see them, and you get to see the quirks, but you still have this air of, I don't know, professionalism.
That's true. Because the kids could be in the other room, and you get off, and then you got to go answer that. Oh, they need a drink, or the toilet is clogged, or, you know, whatever it is. Not that that's happened 18 times.
No.
But we're just us today.
Yep.
You know, and if the kids are doing stuff, then we're together. Like, we brought in food to have lunch, and I'm unpacking it, and I didn't have to leave her on the screen. She helped me to put it away. It's a very unique type of relationship when you're together and you're working together, rather than just being on the screen.
I do think that, you know, the way the world is today, being able to have those virtual relationships, because let's be honest, prior to COVID, we did probably do some virtual sessions, but not like we do now, right? Having had to go through the pandemic, we were isolated and sequestered, and so we craved that interaction, and the only way we could do that was virtually. I still think that that's amazing, and at least an opportunity for us to connect. But when you can take that outside and make time, not just you know, happily join someone, but really carve out time to go fly to them, drive to them, meet them somewhere, it really does do so much more in elevating that relationship, whether it's personal or professional, I would have to say.
There's something special about breaking bread together. I think every time. And you know, and I won't even say you doing your virtual calls, but a phone call. You know, that's the closest that you can get. Then do that, because you're going to make that relationship a little bit better. They hear your voice real. I don't know. That seems a little more personal. The text messaging, we have each other's iMessaging. That's made it a little bit more personal.
Yep.
It's not just about business. I think that's made it more personal. Yeah, I really appreciate the relationships.
I think where I see most people missing,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm being honest, I mean, when we are so caught up in our lives, right? We are always so busy, and it's so easy to just spend our time in the LinkedIn comments, right? And yes, you can build an amazing relationship.
Sure.
Even in the comments, you can get to know people. But it's when you go that extra mile, when you text message someone, when you get to meet them in real life, when you go beyond just the virtual coffee chat here and there, and beyond the comments in the posts, but actually in the having real deep conversation. Because that's where I always say that you, in order to build an amazing relationship, you have to have some level of intimacy. And I don't mean romantic intimacy. I mean, just you have to be able to, I mean, Nikki, in the short time we've known each other, she's already seen me at my weakest. I mean, I was pretty bad not too long ago. But that's what building an intimate relationship is. You allow people to see that side of you that you wouldn't normally allow people to see.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not the first DM. You know, it's not the first message even. You know, it was lots of them. And I think if you're going to really plan to take a relationship to something that's intimate and not romantic, but you want to have that kind of bond with someone.
I do love her. But.
Yes, yes. But I think that that's the important part, is that you have to realize you're in for the long game. Just like a client. You know, you're going to be working with them. You know, if you want to have a long-standing relationship, especially in the tech space, you can't, it's not a one and done. It's lots of conversations. And then once you get them to a phone call, you know, once you get them to where they're supporting you as an evangelist, I mean, think about today in the LinkedIn Mastery. 𝗕𝗂𝗂𝗧𝗩 came today. You know, we've talked in the DMs, you know, he's been to the different meetings, but he came and supported, and then that topic had nothing to do with him. He was just showing up for us, which was meaningful. So then the next thing is, well, hey, how can I show up for him? Is he doing an event in Fort Myers? All right, is he doing an event in Tampa? It's not that hard for me to go to do that so that I can show my support for him. Michelle Hayward's another one. She shows up all the time for stuff. Say, how can I be involved? Even though it's not in her ICP. So I think those relationships are coming together. And now what does that make me want to do?
Show up for her where you can, right?
I want to collaborate. I want to see, what are you doing? What are you into? Let me be there.
And I think we are all here on LinkedIn for a reason. Whether you are a salesperson by profession, whether you're an entrepreneur or solopreneur, we have to sell something every single day. You may be selling your idea. You may be selling your project. You may be selling what you accomplished. Maybe you are an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. Maybe you're a sales rep. It doesn't really matter where you land. We all have to sell something. And in sales today, it's more about a relationship than it is about the feature and function. Right. It's more about the level of intimacy that you build with your clients than it is with, you know, the product that you're selling. Because quite honestly, there are a million products out there. You are the differentiator. Who they're investing in is what differentiates you from your competitors. So I think it's so important that when we have opportunities like this, that we try to foster these relationships. And by the way, you might find that you get a beautiful friendship out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, there's some friends that I have in the city that she knows more, just because the conversations that we have, and we're both trying to help elevate each other's business. So you've got your family, and that's important. But your business is also something important. And so we're growing this together. So she's got to know some of my weaknesses. She has to know that I'm not a salesperson.
He does do sales. I mean, come on.
We are aligned because she's in the sales and I'm in the marketing, and we are thinking the same thing. We need to help to elevate other people. It's not about just us. It's about building those relationships. And I think that's probably why we work. That's probably why we work together. It's because we are in alignment to be able to help, and we're not against each other. It's not just sales and it's not just marketing. We're trying to figure out, how can our message be able to help people with it aligned? We're going to do the top of the funnel. You're going to do the bottom of the funnel.
That's right. I love it. That was not us, though, that actually stated that. That was, was it 𝗕𝗹𝘂𝗲𝗃, or was it 𝗕𝗹𝘂𝗲, I think, right?
Maybe, yeah.
I think
because he's wicked smart.
Yeah.
They're
He
over
came
there.
up with that. Top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, one of the things I want to make sure that most of everyone gets out of are some practical tips, right? I think it's super important that when you're working on, you know, showing up here on LinkedIn, that one is you got to take the first step and actually start to engage with.
You do. Be courageous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't matter, right? How you do it. It can be simply even just in the comments to start off with, but you got to at least put yourself out there.
Right.
and have the conversation.
Not thank you for posting, or not that really meant a lot to me. Like, think about, like, what would you want written to you that makes you feel like they actually cared, or that they read it, you know? And if you're using AI, be creative at least. You know, ask the prompt, say, hey, they said this, and I want to add this kind of value to it. You know, and ask ChatGPT will tell you. But you need to really add value to those so that they respond back to you. Or send them in the DM. Take the link, copy it, put that into the DM, and say, this is the post that I just engaged with you on, and I'd like to talk further about it. And that's where you can take it further than just, thanks. Thanks for posting. Thanks for sharing.
By the way, a little secret, the algorithm now, with as much content as there is out there, doesn't favor those comments that, I mean, no one favored it, never favored it before to begin with, unless it was thoughtful, but it's even less now. So if you're just going to put thanks, I mean.
Right. Add some more value.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So first step is just engage, right?
Right.
Second step, Nikki already said, take it over to the DMs, right? When you're engaging in the comments, and maybe you're not comfortable with doing it after the first comment, get to know them a little bit more, engage more and more on their content, invite them to your content, right? When you feel comfortable, move them over to the DMs, have a conversation there.
And don't pitch slap them.
No.
Don't tell them all the things that you offer unless they're asking, because you're getting to know them. You know, just have a conversation, get to know them.
I actually have a whole warm DM video series that if you're interested in learning how to get to that stage a little bit more effectively, you can most certainly reach out and I will share those with you. But more important is just making sure you move them over to the DMs. And then the next step is try to get them into the WhatsApp, or get them into a WhatsApp conversation or a cell phone text message, right? If you can do that, then you start to elevate even more, right? You start to have conversations. Like when sometimes if Nikki and I are just thinking about something, she'll just text me randomly, which she would never do if it were in the DM.
No, I send her videos all the time.
I do love her videos.
I mean, this is how I picked out my outfit tonight for the Ageless Evolution event. I went and I tried them on and I videoed it. I was like, what do you think about this? And then I went and I got another one. What do you think about this? So what I'm wearing tonight, she picked.
Which is fun. We're going to get to that event in just a second. But I guess the point is every step, it's like, I liken it not to dating, but to a friendship, right? I mean, dating can be really cumbersome and you're trying to quickly figure out whether you like them or not, or whether you want to invest time. Sometimes it's hit or miss, right? Depending on what level you're at as you're looking for your significant other, right? It's really about a friendship, right? Really thinking about what is it that this friendship needs to foster and this level of intimacy. And then the topping is when you can actually meet in real life.
That's like the cherry on top. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. That was better than the topping, the cherry on top.
The cherry on top, yes. Why don't you say, so what you were telling 𝗕𝗹𝗂 earlier about the emails, the way that you can craft it. You were talking about, you know, you're not trying to tell them what they did wrong. You're not trying to demean their efforts to be able to sell them. Because now we can move it into, yes, we're going to have a relationship because we have a common goal for doing business together. But when you're trying to go after the client and you want them to have that trust in you, you were sharing with 𝗕𝗹𝗂 about how he can do that going forward, to not pitch them.
Yeah, to really just focus on them. Like, what are they doing? What's the post that they wrote that was amazing, that inspired you to even want to engage with them? Oh, we have a comment, by the way. We're not paying any bit of attention.
Oh, right. That's usually my job.
Look at that. She's slacking on her job, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Jonathan's out there. Hey,
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for being out there. Sorry that we just now saw it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's about really getting to know them so that when you have a conversation with them, you are making it all about them and not at all about you. Because once you make the conversation about you, you've already turned them off, which also means that you can't assume that they have these problems. You have to ask them the questions to get them to tell you what their problems are. And you also can't tell them that their kid is ugly, right? So you can't tell them that what they're doing is wrong either, right?
The business is the baby, is in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
I just thought we would clarify.
Yes. So it is really just, again, getting to know the people that you're engaging with before you, so that you can build a relationship with them, and so that you aren't pitching them, but that you are evolving into a conversation about how you guys can help one another.
Right. Yep. What's your third tip?
My third tip? What was my third tip? I don't remember now.
I should have wrote them down. That way
I usually know them, but
yeah. So the target audience, you have to have that down. The research aspect.
yes.
And I think that's important for any of it. It takes more time. So we were talking earlier about marketing, and marketing is something that it could take 5 days to trade the relationship, to train it up to be something valuable. It could take 5 months. You have to make the investment. You have to get to know who they are, what they like, what their interests are. They're not going to convert usually right away, because who are you and why would they care?
Look, I mean, selling is different today. Before, it was about you educating them on the industry, you know, so you could find touch points where you weren't necessarily pitching them, you were educating them. They are already educated. We sit in front of our laptops every day. Now we may still be going from meeting to meeting, but we're not physically going from meeting to meeting as much as we were previously. So they have more time to do their own homework. They don't need us to do that. So we have to show them that we care now enough about them. Our credibility is not in the education, but in really understanding them and making it all about them.
Right. That's the connection aspect.
Yes.
That's why and people don't like the word networking. So let's use the word connecting. You are connecting with them on a deeper level that shows them that you care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we all want to feel like all want to feel like we're thought of, that people care about us, right?
We're special.
Yes.
That was, I'll throw in another one of our top voices, Nick. When he introduces me to anybody that could be in my ICP, he always says something kind like, I'd like to introduce you to my friend, my colleague. This is Nikki Estes. And I'll have something special to be able to make the relationship. And then whoever they are, he gives me some details about them. And it makes me feel special. It makes them feel special. And then we do a video. Right. And it's a video like I do with you, you know, just a video, a message, and I'm like, hey, it's great to meet you. And it's great to see you. Thanks so much. I'm glad to meet you. And then that makes it more special. So I think you continue to find ways that you can be a differentiator, making other people feel special in the way that you would want to.
Exactly. So the reason why we're actually here, because I do want to be cognitive of everyone's time, right? We are going to make this a little bit shorter than we normally do, because we are here for a reason, and we have an awesome event we're going to tonight and then tomorrow. So maybe, Nikki, you've really been working with Nick very closely on this. So why don't you share with everyone why we're here and what we've got going on?
I'm super excited because it's an excellent opportunity to get together with thought leaders in the med tech space. So 𝗕𝗂 is going to be there speaking, and lots of others, and we can put that in the comments. I don't want to leave anybody out, but because he's a top voice, I'm kind of kindred to that. But they're going to be talking about how technology disrupts healthcare. They're going to talk about ways that you can live agelessly, like the blue zone. You know, we've talking about how you can be able to eat right, exercise right, live right in a balanced way. So I'm looking forward to the different ones that are going to be explaining how your brain can be engaged with these different methods of meditation, the different foods you can eat, the Mediterranean diet will be talked about. There's going to be a surfer, 𝗣𝗠 𝗣𝗂𝗲𝗃, however you say it. She's going to be there, but this group is coming together to be able to help teach executives, founders, and funders how they can be able to elevate their life in a balanced way using healthcare and technology. And I would say that technology's gotten a bad rap here lately, and AI has gotten a bad rap, but if you leverage it, you don't rely on it, it can be positive. So tonight, we're going to get together to talk with a few of them in an intimate relationship. And again, just their friendship is going to further develop so we can see how we can collaborate at a dinner at the Hotel Nia. And then tomorrow, we're going to go to the Amesville Hotel, and there's going to be about 350 people. And we are going to have these sessions that are going to be amazing and educational. And then afterwards, Market Me More is sponsoring the after party. We have raffles. We are giving away a surfboard for those that, you know, do the hang tight thing. I think that's right.
Yeah.
No. What?
She's not a surfer, by the way. We can tell that. And she lives in Florida, which, by the way, we are glad you were here. Our hearts go out to those that are actually in Florida that were impacted, and to those in North Carolina that were impacted for Helene. So we are thankful that you're here, and that that everyone is safe, at least that we know thus far there in Florida. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to them.
I'm so thankful that it ended up being less of what they planned on it being. Yeah. And the people that are there, that in our circles, you know, that they're safe. So that, that's been that's going to be a wait this week to come back to. But yeah, thanks for doing a shout out for that.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
we could be meaningful to our friends back home.
Yes. So we decided we were going to make this 30 minutes. So we're at the 25-minute mark. So I want to make sure that we leave everyone with some parting thoughts and how they can connect. But before I do the parting thoughts, it's super important for me that everyone walks away with practical tips. We started this conversation with, the value of taking virtual relationships here on LinkedIn to the real world, right? In real life connections. How do we get there from point A to point D, right? Because there's some steps in there, and I don't know if D is the right one, but nonetheless, that there are steps to get there. And the practical tips are really this. First, just when you're building relationship, just be bold and start to have the conversations, even if it's just simply in the comments, which, by the way, you should be starting that anyway in the comments and not immediately in the DMs.
Right.
So
unless you have a reason. So like, if you're in a LinkedIn course together, an audio or something, you're already connecting on something specific. Then you could send them in the DM, hey, I saw you here and you said this and it was meaningful. You don't necessarily have to put it out for everyone to see in the comments. But that would be the only probably reason.
Correct. If you don't know them, if you've never had an opportunity to engage with them, or be in the same setting with them, whether that's virtual or live, you definitely don't want to DM them first. You want to engage in the comments. If you can, then move it over to the DMs, because you've had, like Nikki gave that example, an opportunity to mingle with them in some way or another. Maybe not even one-to-one, but just, you're in the same group. But then the second is, once you have started the conversation, start to get to know them. Make it about them. Ask them questions. Have them share with you some of the things that, they're doing today that will allow you then to start asking the deeper questions. I always say, it's about being curious, asking the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth line questions, because only then do you not only get to probable root cause, but they also then, the person that you're engaging with, they know that you care because you care enough about what they've talked about that you want to know more about what they're talking about. When you get to that point, then it's moving it out of the DMs and over to the text messages, whether that's phone or WhatsApp. And then if you have the chance, I would always say, take the chance to meet your connections in real life.
Yeah.
I think the takeaway here is ultimately that, the relationships that we make are fostered by us, and how we build them determines the longevity of, the sustainability of, and what might come out of those relationships, right?
Not everybody's going to be a sale. Sometimes you're going to be in a conversation, you're going to get in the DMs and you realize that you don't have the right product, or they're not the right fit for your target audience. But maybe they become an evangelist because you're friends. Maybe they give you a connection for collaboration in the future. Don't dismiss a relationship just because they don't fit, or that they don't talk to you. Just figure out, maybe there is some kind of maybe it's philanthropy, because we've met people just like, Corey and I don't have business cases right now to do. Corey Warfield, right? We don't have business cases, but there's some philanthropy opportunities that we have to be able to bring tech into impoverished areas, to be able to train up kids. That's unique. I wouldn't know that unless we had built a relationship, unless he had invested in me and my partner Raquel to be able to talk about that stuff. So invest in people, not just yourself by trying to gain.
Exactly. So takeaways, last minute takeaways that you think you want to leave everyone with?
I would say collaborate for intentions of changing. Don't be like everybody else. You can build impact by building relationships that benefit them. And in the end, that ends up benefiting everybody. That's innovative, I think.
I agree with you. And my takeaway would really be, just be bold. Just start to have the question. Just start to have the conversations. If you don't, someone else will. And you're never going to grow unless you put yourself out there.
And you're valuable and you're worth it and you can do it.
And by the way, we all have gifts. It's our responsibility to share those gifts with others.
It's not a gift until you give it away.
Look at that. All right. Well, so now we're going to tell you quickly how you can find us. Most of us know I've been on a hiatus. So I would say normally I'm here 5 days a week on LinkedIn Lives, but I haven't been doing that. Yes, I've took a little bit of a break, but you can always find me in some form or another here on LinkedIn. Right. Nikki, what about you?
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. It's my second home. And then you're welcome to find me on marketmemore.com. We've got some great literature that you can be able to learn, but I would say that joining us on different, like the Blue TV every Thursday, we've got some mastery courses that we're a part of, or just, I don't know, Instagram. I have the Instagram, nevertheless, persevere with joy. That makes sense, right?
That does. Persevere with joy.
Yeah.
Sure. I wish I liked Instagram. I can only navigate one platform.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, once in a while, I'll share some pictures on Facebook, but that's about it.
Sure. Okay, we'll stick to LinkedIn then.
Yes, let's stick to LinkedIn. So you can find us here on LinkedIn, and we've already been collaborating, but you'll see a lot more coming from us. And, you know, part of Nikki is the Market Me More, and she's been really, she created this Top Voices Unite. They are the sponsor for the Blue TV, so she's been working really hard. So I appreciate all the effort that you put in, and I appreciate the time that you've invested in our friendship. And it's going to turn out to be, it is turning out to be amazing. So super excited to be here. Thankful that those of you could join. If you weren't on Team Live, make sure that if you're on Team Replay to let us know that you're out there, and we'll come back and have an amazing conversation. In the meantime, stay tuned to what transpires over the course of the next 2 days. Maybe not with us specifically, but just in general, right?
Ageless Evolution Longevity Summit.
Because I'm living to 100 plus.
Oh.
And I'm going to be a healthy 100 plus.
Yes, and strong. Yes, and helping lots of people with your amazing sales skills and love, servant heart.
Yes, my legacy will be my kindness. What's your legacy?
Communication and collaboration.
I love that. Her superpower is collaboration for sure. All right. Well, we're going to sign off now that her phone is going off. Thanks, everyone, for putting up with us. Also for visiting us so late in the day. Talk to you guys later. See you next week here Thursday. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Oh, wait. We're going to do music. Normally, I'm more prepared, but we're in a different setting. So stay tuned. We're going to turn on some rock music. One day, I'm going to upload some of my own music. So this is weird when we exit. So bye. See y'all.
Bye.
See you later, alligator. Well, now I can't get my mouth over there. And we haven't even had any wine yet.
No.
We've only been drinking coffee. All right, here we go. I'm